Welcome back. This is Danielle from Spore Yourself Natural. Today we are going to be making some bath bombs. We have two different kinds that we're making. We are making a purely unscented, which has some colloidal oatmeal in it, and the other one is simply lavender with just plain lavender essential oil and purple clay. Let's get started. First up is baking soda. Next is coconut milk powder. I use this in place of SLS or SLSA. This is going to be my foaming agent. You could also use any other powder, buttermilk powder, coconut powder, goat milk powder, all work pretty similar. Next is Kaolin Clay. This adds a really nice texture to the bath water and helps harden up your bath bomb. Next is Tapioca Powder. This helps harden the bath bomb as well. And the last dry ingredient I am adding is colloidal oatmeal. This is just a nice calming agent and makes the bath water feel a little bit nicer. I do like to strain all of my dry ingredients to allow them to incorporate very quickly when they're in the mixer. On to our wet ingredients. We're going to start with polysorbate 80. This is going to help with adding in your oils in your fragrances or essential oils. It's going to mix in with your bath water so you don't have any oils or essential oils laying on the top of your bath itself. Next up, we have avocado oil. I like to use a light oil. Avocado and grapeseed are typically my favorite. And for the binding agent, I use witch hazel. Some people use water or alcohol. Witch hazel is my preference. I mix up all of my dry ingredients together before I add the wet ingredients. I prefer to add my wet ingredients a little bit slower so it can incorporate nice and quickly. While everything's mixing together, I'm going to get my citric acid. Now you can use any grain citric acid you prefer. I have used coarse, medium, and fine. I like them all. Fine gives you the smoothest looking bath bomb, but I do kind of like the look of like a medium course of this. It almost looks as though you had put Epsom salt into your bath bombs, even though you had not. So you kind of get like that grainier look, which is quite nice. Now I'm adding in my citric acid. If you were using a color, I would originally add that into my dry ingredients. This particular one is unscented, but the one coming up is colored with purple Kaolin Clay, and that is added in the dry ingredient stage. Here I'm ready to mold my Simply Lavender. You can see that I had colored it with the purple Kaolin Clay, making sure I have the right texture and I can form it into a nice ball and it sticks before I start molding. I do like to have a little something on the top of my bath bombs, but I don't really like to use like dried flowers or anything because they float around in the bathtub. So I started putting Himalayan salt on it. So you still get that little pop of color, the little pizzazz, but it's something that disintegrates into the water itself. In all of my bath bombs, I actually do a mystery crystal. So I will put a crystal in the middle. When the bath bomb is done dissolving, they will have a crystal in their bath. And as you can see, the shape of my bath bomb is a little bit different. It is about a half circle, which I really, really like. It's easy to pack, it's easy to unmold, and it's actually really easy to remove packaging as well. I think sometimes when you have a bath bomb and you're trying to remove the plastic packaging, you can break the bath bomb itself, which can be upsetting to the customer. So I really, really enjoy this particular shape, but obviously you can use whatever shape works for you. And here we are demoing a bath bomb for you to see. These fizz really well. You're not going to get a fizz as long as SLS or SLSA, but you do get a nice long fizz with this. They float really well. I do like that foamy consistency you get with a milk powder. I think this is a great alternative for somebody who's looking to stay away from that SLS surfactant. You can see here how nice the color is. Now take into account this is obviously a sink, so if this was in a tub, you're going to get a very, very pale purple color as opposed to a deeper purple that you see right here since it's in such a small space. It's time to pack up our bath bombs. So I do shrink wrap all of my bath bombs. I used to shrink wrap them and then put them into a box as well, but I've simplified it a little bit. These, doing it directly in here, I feel like people can see the bath bomb and they don't have to open the box. I use a 6x6 shrink wrap, and then I just cut it down to customize the size. Ideally, it would be like a 5x5, so I wouldn't have to do this, but I haven't run into that size not buying in bulk at this time. And now we just shrink wrap them down and put a label on. I hope you enjoyed watching how I make and wrap bath bombs. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great day. Bye.